Alright, see how they both have x minus 3? You can cancel the x. That's gonna cancel back here. So the whole the x coordinate of the whole is 3. Yeah, 3 is 3.
All right. So we're gonna do step by step. We can factor everything. We fact. Usually, your first step you want to factor as much as you can. So x plus 3, x minus 3, x minus 3 all over x plus 2, x minus 2, and x minus 3. Is that okay? Bottom equal to 0 is going to be 2, negative 2, and 3. So your domain is going to be negative infinity to negative 2. Is that okay? Union from negative 2 to 2. And then union from 3 to 2 to 3. And then 3 to infinity. Is that okay? Everybody okay here so far? Okay. Whole. Well, we're going to cancel one of them. So I'm going to cancel one of them. So it'll be x minus 3 equal to 0, x equal to 3. I'm going to plug in 3 into the equation. It'll be 2 times 3 plus 3 times 3 minus 3. Good luck, because 3 minus 3 is actually pretty good. 3 plus 2, 3 minus 2. What's it equal to?
0.
0, because 3 minus 3 on the top is automatic 0. So 3 comma 0 is the whole. Does that make sense? So this is a new equation, right? New equation is going to be 2 times x plus 3 times x minus 3 over x plus 2 and x minus 2. How do you find x-intercept? Set y equal to 0, right? So it's going to be negative 3, 0. Is that okay? Because you set the numerator of this, you set the top part. Like, do you guys understand what I did? You set the top part equal to 0. Does 2 ever equal to 0? Does x plus 3 equal to 0? X equal to negative 3, right? Now, does x minus 3 equal to 0? Well, that's going to be 3, but 3 is going to be a whole, so there's actually no x-intercept. But there is a coordinate there over there as a whole. So there's only negative 3, 0, not 3, 0. Because that's a whole at the very beginning. Y-intercept. What do I do with y-intercept? So it'd be 2 times 0 squared minus 9 over 0 squared minus 4, right? So that's going to give you negative 18 over negative 4. It's 9 over 2. So it'd be 0, 9 over 2, which is 4.5. Is that okay so far? Like, do you know how to find all those informations? How to find vertical asymptote? X equal to what? What's the vertical asymptote? Not negative x. X equal to what? Negative 2.
2.
And x equal to 2. You set denominator equal to 0. Remember? So that's your vertical asymptote. Is that okay? How about horizontal asymptote? Not 1. It's 2. How many of you guys don't understand it's 2? Because you compare the highest coefficient. Highest coefficient here is the x squared and x, right? So it's 2x cubed, right? This is x squared over x is x cubed. So it'll be 2x cubed over x cubed, this same degree, so it's going to be y equal to 2. So y is equal to 2. There's none. Now, I want you guys to try to graph this as much as you can. Now, is this an even or odd function, by the way? It's actually even function. So this is even functions. Why? because I can plug in negative x into the new function. So it'll be 2 times negative x squared minus 9 over negative x squared minus 4. So it'll be 2 times x squared minus 9 over x squared minus 4. So they're even, which just means symmetry to y-axis. So if you graph one side, you can reciprocate to the other side. Mm-hmm. X-intercept? I set the numerator equal to 0. Set this part equal to 0, but I find out it's x plus 3 and x minus 3. But plus 3 has a hole, so excluding that one.
You graph that, like circle the hole. Like what do I do?
You graph a circle over the hole with a coordinate. So right now, I want you to graph all the information. I feel like most of people can find at least, you guys so far, you should be able to find at least 3/4 information at the very beginning. But a lot of people are afraid to put this information into the graph. Go ahead and sketch it. It's okay to be completely wrong because I'm going to go over it. Right? So I think a lot of people are afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of failure, as I'm not going to penalize you for anything. I'm going to tell you this, there is certain thing you need to fix. But we have to try first to graph all this information in. Even test like the things like next to the asymptote, vertical asymptote. Test them. Graphing your vertical asymptote, your horizontal asymptote, your point, your hole, your y-intercept, x-intercept. All those things, go ahead and graph in. But then if you want to see how do they behave right next to the vertical asymptote, you have to plug in the number that's 0.1 away. See if they go in positive or negative. We talked about this last week. Did you guys graph the vertical asymptote yet? Do you guys graph 2 vertical asymptote?
Yeah.
Did you guys graph a horizontal asymptote? Do you graph the hole? Do you graph the x-intercept? Y-intercept? 9 over 2 is 4.5, so it's right here. Is this okay? Now here's a question. The graph could go this way or this way. Which way do you think it's going to go? This way or this way? Y is down. And also because there's a point here, right? Right? But if you want to do a test, it's fine. Plug in negative 2.1. So I'm going to plug in negative 2.1 into 2. So I'm going to, this is the final result. 2 times x plus 3, x minus 3, over x plus 2, x minus 2. Right, I'm going to plug in that says negative 2.1. If I plug in x equal to negative 2.1, what am I going to get on the sign on the top? It's 2 times positive times negative. Is that okay? I don't care about the value. This is going to be negative, and this is negative. So that's equal to negative. So this is going to go this way. And this is going to go this way. If I want to plug in negative 2.1, so it'll be 2 times positive times negative, negative 1.9, so that's going to be positive and negative. So that's going to be positive. So this is going to go this way. Let me know if you have any questions. I just plug in 1.9 into the function, negative 1.9 into the function, and plug in 2.1 into the function. I see the graph's going to go this way, but these have symmetries. If they have symmetry, then it's going to be like this and like this. And that's the graph based on this particular situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you determine the problem?
I can, I just knowing that on this side it's going to be symmetry. And also I know that this side's going to go up, it's going to hit that point. I don't know if that's a problem. I just based on symmetry because I graph on one side, I should be able to figure out from the other side. Yes.
Can you have a positive and negative?
That's fine. I will plug in x equal to 2.1 into here, right? Imagine that if you plug in negative 2.1, is that going to give you a positive here or negative? It's going to give you a positive. Negative 2.1 plus 3 is positive. So this is positive. Does that make sense? Negative 2.1, is that negative or positive? Negative. So that's negative. This is positive, right? Negative 2.1 plus 2, is that positive or negative? Negative. And negative 2.1 plug in here is still negative. So we got 3 negative signs, so the end up should be negative. So going left should go into negative. If it's a positive, it's gonna go look like this, but then you would probably have some type of point on this side. The same thing as I do negative 1.9. Negative 1.9 is gonna be positive or negative. Positive. Negative 1.9 in here is what? Good. So you put those two check, right? Negative 2.1, negative 1.9 plus 2, is that positive or negative? So that's positive. Negative 1.9 minus 2, negative. So there's 2 negative sign. That's equal to positive sign. So go this way, it's going to go up. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
The other side is symmetry, but you can also plug in points. Are we okay?
So you got a test on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. On this stuff. Isaac's not here today? Slacker. Okay, are you following me? Do you understand what's going on? This is the only plugin that says negative 1.9. Yeah, slant asymptote is none. Okay, we're gonna talk about that next. Okay, so we're gonna talk about a situation has a slant asymptote. Is that okay? So this is x squared minus 2x plus 4 all over x minus 2. Now here's my question. My question is do we have a can we factor the top? Are you sure? How do we factor the top? I don't think it's a factorable. Because there's no way 4 and 1 and 2 and 2 does not give me a -2 in the middle. So it's not factorable. Right? So let's talk about, do they have holes? Do they have hole if nothing cancel? None, right? Do they have vertical asymptote? Do they have a domain? Can you tell me a domain?
X to negative x to negative 2,
-2 and -2 to infinity. Is that okay? Is that okay? Do you have x-intercept? Yes?
Isn't domain the positive 2?
Oh, you're right. Okay, is there any x-intercept here? There's none. Why is none? Because that's not factorable, but that's because why? If you really want to find intercept, then you set x squared minus 2x plus 4. What can we do here to find the x-intercept? Well, if we cannot factor, what else we can do? If I cannot factor a quadratic, what can I do? Quadratic formula. So it'll be 2 plus minus square root of 4 minus 4 times 1 times 4 all over 2. So it'll be 2 plus minus square root of 4 minus 16 over 2. So it'll be 2 plus minus square root negative 12 over 2. Now, is that going to give me a real number? No, if I really want to find it, I can. 2 plus minus 2 I square root of 3 over 2. So it'll be 1 plus minus I square root of 3. I square root of 3 is not graphable, so there's no x-intercept. So you can have a function with no x-intercept. Do you understand what's going on? So there is none. So it's not factorable, doesn't mean anything. You have to plug in quadratic formula, see if they get i's. If your discriminant is negative, there's no x-intercept. Am I going too fast? How do I find y-intercept? What? X equal to 0. So what would it be here? 0 what? 0 negative 2, because you plug in 0 square minus 2 times 0 plus 4 over 0 minus 2. So it'd be 4 over negative 2, which is negative 2, which is 0 negative 2. Do you have vertical asymptote? What is a vertical asymptote? X equal to 2, thank you. Is any horizontal asymptote here? No, because numerator has a larger degree, right? So there will be none. Does that make sense? When they have same degree, you look at coefficient. Jacob, are you paying attention? When your denominator has a higher degree is what? What is the horizontal asymptote? Denominator has higher degree. 0. Same degree is coefficient. Higher degree on top is no horizontal asymptote. Does that make sense? And then you're gonna say, well, it says slant asymptote. Well, how do we find a slant asymptote? Long division. We talked about that before. So how do I do long divide? X squared minus 2x plus 4 divided by x minus 2. Is that okay? That's going to give you x. That's going to be x squared minus 2x. And that's 4. This is not enough. So be x plus 4 over x minus 2. Is that okay? The long division here, this is your slant. Is that okay? Slant asymptote. Let's graph them. Vertical asymptote is at 2. X is right here. Sorry, that was not cool. So that's a slant asymptote. So far, any question? Yes.
Why is the slant asymptote?
Why you go to X? This is your slant. Don't worry about remainder, just worry about when you long divide, you got something. Sometimes your long division is X squared, then your asymptote is gonna look like a problem. But in this case, it's X. Y-intercept is at -2. So obviously it's going to go toward this way, it's going toward the asymptote. Now when you go in this way, it should be like this. Why? Well, we don't know. We plug in. Plug in maybe -1.9. If I plug in -1.9, -1.9 minus 2, is that positive or negative? -1.9 squared minus 2 times -1.9 squared, or not squared, and plus 4. Is that positive or negative? It's actually negative. Because 1.9 is not 2 yet, right? And 2 times -1.9 is also not 2 yet. Wait, hold on a second. I did negative or positive. Oh, I don't want to do 1.9. I want to do 1.9, sorry. 1.9 here. And that is going to be positive. So this part is going to be positive this way. And this part is going to be this way. So that's the graph. I can plug in the value to try it. If you don't believe me, plug in, I don't know, -1.9. And that's the graph. Okay? Is that okay? Okay, so I'm going to ask you to graph a couple. Now, horizontal asymptote, I'm going to give you a clue. Horizontal asymptote is not always not. Sometimes they can go across horizontal asymptote, especially in the middle region. Vertical asymptote, so I give a really weird analogy. Don't get offended if you are like this. So I give a weird analogy. Vertical asymptote, it's like, I don't know how do I say it, but without offending people. So think about like the people are like for sure like they are gay. Like they are just born gay. I don't know. There's some people just you can tell they are gay. There's no way around it. They are gay. Right? Have you ever seen those people before?
Yeah.
So that's normal. But there are people that who are like they're not sure. They might be like they want to experiment like in younger age they will say okay go with it and later on they become gay. I haven't seen people they like married, divorced, have kids and later on they become gay. And they just it's like that. So it's pretty much like horizontal asymptote like that. So sometimes you're gonna see the line going across the horizontal asymptote. That is okay. That's not end of the world. But a slant can happen in the middle as well. slant can happen in the middle as well. But vertical asymptote is never go across. Vertical asymptote is just like they are definitely gay. They are horizontal asymptotes happen later. Later in line, they're gonna follow, they become a horizontal asymptote. So I'm gonna give you a question for you guys to try, and I want you to try it here rather than try at home.
And of course, you have like all three of them horizontal.
No, you cannot have horizontal and slant at the same time. Because only if they have a 7 degree or lesser degrees becomes horizontal asymptote, right? If numerator has a higher degree, then that is gonna be a slant. Now, can you have a degree look like a parabola? Yes, you can. So I will show you. Like imagine that you have, let's say it's x to the 4 plus 1, x to the 4th plus 1, and all over, right, all over x squared. So it looks like this, right? It looks like this. But if you do long division, you're gonna get x squared, right? Because x to the 4, you're gonna get x squared, right? So look at this. There's a long division here, y equal to x squared. So you can have a asymptote look like a parabola. And usually nobody knows this, but yeah, you can look at it. See, they never intersect. It doesn't matter how far I go. You might look like they're on top of each other, but if you zoom in enough, it's not gonna touch. So this is called not only a slant asymptote, they can be a second degree asymptote because numerator has greater than denominator by 2 degrees. Is it by 2 degrees, then you have a second degree asymptote. You can have third degree asymptote. You can have fourth degree asymptotes. Yes, the asymptote can be all different kind. Depends how many degree over compared to denominator. Does that make sense? And that's why you cannot have horizontal and slant at the same time. You can have vertical and slant. You can have vertical and horizontal, but you cannot have vertical and horizontal and a slant at the same time. That's just not good combinations. Does that make sense? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a question that I put on last year's test. Let me see if I can find them. Okay, I'm just gonna name one. I don't know. So let me see. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna grab this one's a slant. X squared minus 4x minus 5 all over x minus 3. Well, actually, this one has an x-intercept, has a y-intercept. So this one's interesting. So this is the first question I want you to do. Second question I want to see. So there are two questions here. So this is a classwork plus homework. You have to find all 9 things: x-intercept, y-intercepts. I will say the top 2 is very similar to the test questions, and the bottom 2 is just extra practice. Make sure you got understand how the behavior next to a vertical asymptote works. I'll write down another question, maybe that's really close to that. So there are 5 questions for your homework. Huh? What do you mean bottom denominator? X squared plus you mean the bottommost here? This one? What? Yeah, you can factor x squared minus 4x minus 5.
I got 0.
Yep. So this is all your homework question. For me, like a lot of you guys need a graph first before you check on the decimals. Like when you check on decimals, that you get to have a feedback loop. But if you just say, let me look up the decimal, I'm gonna just grab whatever decimals have, you're not learning. On a test, you cannot perform it. That's just the way it is. So I hate to tell you that you actually have to graph on decimals. You have to find all the graph, all the x-intercept, all the holes, all the vertical asymptote, all the horizontal asymptote, sketch those in and try the best you graph it. And then afterward, you can find out, okay, there's still something I'm missing. And what is missing? Now, sometimes some of those graphs can cross through the center. The horizontal asymptote, that's okay too. So don't be afraid that you have something that's crossed in the center through horizontal asymptote, but just never cross a vertical asymptote. You have no chance with a gay person. Just they're not gonna turn their orientation because of you. Huh? Neither, then you cannot go by symmetry. Only the two graph here has symmetry, which is this one in the middle here and this one on the middle. All the middle region has a symmetry. Yeah, the middle one has symmetry. The other one doesn't have no symmetries. The one on the top, the one on the bottom has no symmetry.
X to the second minus 4x minus 5 over x minus 3 doesn't have symmetry.
Which one? The first one?
Yeah.
No symmetry. It has slant asymptote.
Oh.
There's no symmetry.
Oh.
Tomorrow we're going to talk about polynomial inequality. They are pretty easy. We've done something like this before, but and then we have tests on Thursday, and Friday is a picture day.
So I'm confused, like, how do you like, draw the arrow?
You plug in a number that's close to the asymptote. Let's say if you have asymptote, huh? Yeah, and also you can try see are they going this way or are they going this way on a vertical asymptote. They can either go up or go down. You have to plug in the value right next to it and see are they going up or going down. Yeah. Only you graph everything, then you check the decimals. Right? You graph as much as you can, and then check the decimals.